What's up, guys? I'm Caden.
And I'm Hannah.
And today we're going to be talking about our route. So we're two 18-year-olds from North Carolina, and this fall we're planning to leave our friends and family in our hometown and head out and travel the country in this beautiful RV.
People frequently ask us questions such as, what is our first stop? Where are we planning on going? What place are we most excited for? So today, we're going to sit down in front of a map and discuss all of those questions with you guys.
Yep. And if there's any other questions you guys have that we don't answer in this video, drop them down in the comments. All right, guys, so here's our rough draft of our route. It's obviously pretty crazy. As you can see, it is all over the place. Some of it doesn't make sense even to us, so it definitely probably won't to you guys. But basically what we're doing is we live in Western North Carolina out in this area. So we're just kind of gonna go out east, and then obviously we just kind of head out west, and it's just all over the place. This is, like I just said, it's just kind of a rough draft. So we might leave and decide, from Western North Carolina, we go down to the East Coast, and then maybe we, for some reason, want to go to Atlanta. Like, we can do that. So it's not like we have to follow this strictly. And there are definitely stops in between places that we want to go to that aren't necessarily marked on the map. Yeah, let's get into it.
Alright guys, our goal with this whole trip is we want to hit every single one of the continental United States. And if we can get our passports figured out, we also want to go to a little bit of Canada. You can see we have some of it already marked off. So we're from Western North Carolina, and so we're just going to plan on starting our trip in Knoxville just so we can mark Tennessee off the list for now. And then from there, we're going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where some of Caden's family is from. So we're going to go say bye to them, and then we're going to hit up Wilmington, and we're going to just travel down the coast a little bit, with our next stop being in Myrtle Beach to see some more of Caden's family. And then we are going to go to Charleston, just because it's fun, Charleston. And then same with Savannah, we're just going to stop in there. And then we're going to go to Jacksonville, Florida, because that is where my family is from. So we're going to go say hi to them.
After we see Hannah's family in Jacksonville, we're going to kind of go towards Orlando. And hopefully around this time, it'll be around October, because that's when my birthday is. We're planning to leave, by the way, around September 15th. That's just kind of an estimate. So hopefully it'll take us about a month or so to get to Orlando. Maybe we could spend my birthday at like Universal Studios or something. That'd be fun if Hannah will treat me. Never mind.
And then after we get to Orlando, we're planning on heading down towards Miami and the Florida Keys, which we're really excited about. That's going to be our first big stop, we're hoping. And then while we're down here, we're going to hit up the Everglades and then go to Naples and Marco Island, kind of that area. And then we're going to go to Tampa, and finishing off Florida, we're going to go just kind of up the rest of the coast, hitting up some random little places along here. And then we'll get to Alabama, which...
not much we want to see there.
Yeah.
It's basically just like Tennessee. It's just kind of a quick stop just to mark it off the list. If you guys have any suggestions of where we could stop in Alabama, they might be interesting, let us know. But from there, we go kind of straight to New Orleans. There's not a lot of stops in between here. And then straight to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, where some of Hannah's family lives. So we're going to go see them, and then keep going west to Louisiana. And again, that's just another state where we're kind of just stopping by. There's not a whole lot we want to see there. And then from there, we kind of go up to Arkansas. We do want to see Little Rock just because it seems like a pretty city. And then from there, we keep going out west. Oklahoma seems pretty boring. Gonna be honest, Oklahoma is not one of the ones we're super excited for, but we are super excited to not be in North Carolina, so that's good. So we're gonna hit up Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and then head down south and hit Texas.
As you all know, Texas is a really big state, so we're planning on hitting up a lot of the major cities in Texas, with our first stop being in Dallas, kind of Fort Worth area. And then we're going to head down to Houston, and then Austin and San Antonio. And after we pass through these major cities, we're kind of just headed out straight to see all the cool national parks and stuff. We forgot to mark it, but we're going to go to Big Bend on the way out. And then we're kind of just going to book it into New Mexico. And once we get to New Mexico, we're planning on heading through the White Sands National Park up here. And then we marked some hot springs because we like hot springs. And then we're going to go to Santa Fe and Albuquerque. And then we're going to head out west more to Arizona, where of course we're going to be seeing the Grand Canyon. Once we get to Arizona, of course we're going to be hitting up Grand Canyon National Park. And then after that, we're going to head south through Flagstaff and Phoenix. And then we're going to hit up Tucson. And then we're going to just head out west some, go to Joshua Tree, and then we're going to be hitting up San Diego.
From there, we're just gonna kind of go north. As you can see, California does get a little bit crazy up here. I'm super excited for California. I know Hannah is. But first, we're gonna hit up Los Angeles, and then there's just some national parks. Obviously, there's multiple national parks in California. First one, Channel Islands National Park. From there, we just go to Las Vegas. From Las Vegas, we're gonna go to Death Valley, which is another one we're super excited for. Really, everything in California, really the whole West Coast, we're just super excited for, mainly because when you look at that type of stuff, North Carolina is just boring in our eyes. It's still beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it does get a little boring after a while. But after that, we're just going to head north through the mountains of California and then hit the coast. We're going to hit Monterey, San Jose, and San Francisco. And then, of course, there's another national forest, so Tahoe National Forest. Then we keep going up north, hit Redwoods. There's a bunch of other stops that we're definitely going to make in between here that we didn't necessarily mark on the map. But as you can see, all these green things are like national forests, national parks. We're going to hit as many of those as possible. Do lots of adventures, snowboarding, hiking, whatever we can. But then we keep going up north. There are some more, just a couple random stops in between here. Crater Lake National Park, we're definitely going to be there for a while. And then we're going to hit up Bend, just because everybody says it's a really pretty city. So we're excited for that. And then head towards the coast, go to Salem. We do want to actually go to the coast, just because who doesn't want to go to the Oregon coast? It's supposed to be so pretty. TikTok makes it look super pretty. And then we're going to head a little bit more north. We're going to hit up Portland, Mount Hood, and then get into Washington area.
And then probably top 3 things that we're both excited for is Mount Rainier. Caden is in the back. In case you guys haven't noticed, Caden does not really specialize in geography. So he's just getting himself a comfort snack right now. But that's okay. We'll let him do whatever he needs. After Mount Rainier, we're going to be heading through Olympia and then up to Olympic National Park and National Forest. And then we're going to be going to Seattle. I'm really excited for Seattle. I don't know about Caden, but I cannot wait. And then this is where our passports come in handy. We really want to go to Vancouver. As we mentioned earlier, we want to be going through a lot of Canada, and Vancouver is one of those places that we want to hit up. And then after our hopeful stop in Canada, we will be going through North Cascades National Park and then down kind of towards like Idaho area. We really want to hit up Yellowstone because it's just right here, kind of like along our path. So we're going to be hitting up Yellowstone in Wyoming for a second. After we drive through Idaho, we're going to be hitting up Yellowstone for a minute just because it's kind of like right there along our path. So yeah, we'll just be going there for a minute, and then we'll be going back through Idaho into Boise, and I think that's basically it for Idaho. And then we'll be going south a little more into Salt Lake City, Utah. We are both really excited for this. After Salt Lake City, there's a bunch of like national parks and stuff in Utah, like Capitol Reef. We've just heard Utah is really pretty, so we want to hit up a bunch of these places kind of over here. And then after Utah is the state that I think we're both arguably possibly the most excited for, which is Colorado. I've never been to Colorado, Caden has, but we're both super excited for it. We're excited to snowboard, we're excited to see everything. So we'll be starting our stop in Grand Junction, and then we'll be heading south into Rio Grande National Forest. Then we'll be going through Colorado City, up to Denver and Rocky Mountain National Park, and all the cool stuff. And then, welcome back.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I know you guys probably miss me.
After Colorado, then we'll be heading up to Wyoming, which we will start in Cheyenne, and then we'll be going up, up, up into Casper, and then we're going to head into Bridger Teton National Forest, and then Grand Teton National Park, and then we'll probably hit up Yellowstone again while we're here just because it's right there. And then after Grand Teton and Yellowstone, we'll be heading east towards Bighorn National Forest and Buffalo, and then we'll be going north into Montana.
Montana also looks like a super pretty state. One of our friends used to live there, and seeing her Instagram posts all the time makes me very excited to be there. So there's a lot of stops we want to make. So we're going to start off in Billings, and then we just kind of head west. We're really just looking to explore here. There's not a lot of points on this map that we've made that we actually want to stop at specifically. It's kind of just, again, just a rough estimate. Lolo National Forest, whatever that is. We're going to hit up Hot Springs, keep going north, hit up the National Forest, all of these up here. Glacier, obviously, that's a big one. Definitely excited for that. And then if we can get back into Canada, we'll definitely want to do that just because why not explore both sides? The national park, And then after that, we'll just head east. Some of these cities are just kind of like filler spots. And then we'll head east. We'll hit up the Missouri River and then just keep going east. Hit up Fort Peck, whatever Fort Peck is. I don't know. But there's a pretty looking lake here. So we'll hit that up. Like I said, a lot of these places, we don't really know what we're getting into. We just know it's pretty. So if you guys have recommendations of where specifically we should go, especially being in an RV, please let us know. But we keep going east, head over the border to whatever state this is going to be, North Dakota apparently. And then we're going to hit up this spot on the Missouri River. Keep going east. Again, there's not much of anything here. There's literally like two roads as you can see. There's nothing. So we're going to hit up Jamestown, keep going east, and then right here on the border, we'll hit up Fargo. That way we kind of hit both both of these states at the same time, North Dakota and Minnesota. And then we do just kind of head south. So South Dakota, still there's not a whole lot there. We're gonna hit up Falls, that however that's said, and then we're just gonna head west. We're gonna hit up the Badlands National Park and then Rapid City. Then we're gonna head south. Just keep going down just to kind of get through these states. We're gonna hit up the Nebraska National Forest. Keep going south to Big Springs area, then head east. Just that way we can kind of wrap around and keep going up north. Just because, as you can see, we're just doing kind of squiggles right now. So we head east and just get to the border. Go to Lincoln and Omaha.
Once we pass through Omaha, we will be heading to Kansas City. And even though that's technically on the border, we're counting it because we'll be driving through Kansas to get there. And we'll be in the Kansas half of Kansas.
Yeah, and I'm sure while we're there, we can just hit up one of the cities in Kansas. Just
Yeah.
while we're there, there's no reason not to go to the
Just to
state when
say
our
we
goal,
did.
exactly,
Yeah.
our goal is to hit all of the states. So
And then after Kansas City, we'll be heading south into Springfield, Missouri, and then St. Louis. After St. Louis, then we'll be heading north into Des Moines. We'll keep heading north out of Iowa into Minneapolis, Minnesota. After Minneapolis, then we will keep heading north into Voyageurs National Park. Then we're just going to kind of cut across into Isle Royale National Park.
after that, we're just gonna kind of wrap around the edge of the lakes. We're just gonna kind of stay on this side, go through Duluth, and then head east where we're just gonna hit up Iron River, just some random cities in between here, and then head south again. We're gonna hit up Milwaukee and then keep going down, hit up Chicago, O Block probably. Then just kind of wrap around the edge of Lake Michigan and then head up north. We're gonna hit up Grand Rapids, hit up Traverse City, head north some, and hit up Mackinac Island. And then we're just gonna kind of head south, stay on the edge again of the Great Lakes, hit up Detroit.
After Detroit, then we're going to head down some into Indianapolis, Indiana. And from there, we'll be hitting up Kentucky a little bit, kind of just hitting up Lexington, maybe like anywhere else, I guess.
Just that way we can get Kentucky out of the way.
And then we will be heading up to Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland. Yeah, kind of just making like a diagonal line through Ohio, kind of staying along Lake Erie too while we're here. And then we will be going to Buffalo, New York. From there, we are hoping to go back into Canada if all works out. And then obviously Niagara Falls. After Niagara Falls, we're going to be heading back east into Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, all of that kind of stuff. And then we'll be hitting up Vermont. And then hopefully back into Canada. We're going to go to Montreal. All right. And then from there, we'll be going back into Vermont, kind of cutting through New Hampshire here for a second. And we'll be going into Maine, which I'm really excited for Maine.
We're just going to kind of make a big circle around Maine. So starting off in Portland, it doesn't really matter which way we want to go when we get here. It kind of just depends how we're feeling when we get here. But we can go either way. Right here is Acadia National Park. So whichever way we want to go, we'd probably go this way just because it's the quickest way to get to Acadia. And then we're just going to kind of wrap around. The rest is just kind of filler cities. And then we'll just head south again. So we'll have to head through Portland again just because there's not really another way to go around very easily. Head south more. Then we'll hit up York, not to be confused with New York because there's a difference there for some reason. But then we'll head west, hit up Rochester, Concord, Manchester, and just more random cities on the way. Hit up Boston. That's another cool city that we haven't been to yet. And then, obviously we want to go see the Pilgrims, so we're going to hit up Plymouth, whatever. And then head west again, hit Providence, and then head south, just kind of staying along the coast, hit up New Haven. Keep heading west to Newburgh, and then we'll keep going south, and then, ready for our big moment, we're hitting up New York again, which we're really excited for. If you guys don't already know, New York is like our favorite city that we've ever been to. So we'll probably end up staying here a long time, especially now that we have a vehicle to like roam around in. we can explore all that we want instead of just being able to take like subways and Uber, which is obviously very expensive. So if we want to, we can explore all of this area. We have the freedom to do whatever we want.
After New York, we're just gonna kind of head into the surrounding states like New Jersey. We're gonna hit up Trenton, and then obviously we have to go to Atlantic City. Uh, and then after Atlantic City, we're gonna hit up Philadelphia, and then from Philadelphia, we're gonna be heading into Delaware, where we're kind of just wanting to see the capital. After Delaware, we're gonna be hitting up Washington D.C. Caden's never been, I have. And then after that, we're gonna be heading into Baltimore, and then back up into Pennsylvania. Obviously, we have to go to Hershey. Duh.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're gonna eat a lot there because I'm really confused about what state we're in.
After that, we're kind of just gonna cut across like half the state, probably make some stops along the way, head into Pittsburgh, and then we're gonna kind of go south into West Virginia, which we want to go to Snowshoe really bad. So that's like right around there. After Snowshoe, we're kind of just cutting all the way across to the coast, probably stopping in Richmond for a little bit. We're just gonna kind of stay along the coast for the rest of the trip, hitting up the Outer Banks, the entire Outer Banks. And then from there, we'll kind of be in the final stretch where we're heading back to our hometown. So we're just going to hit up Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, all the way back to where we belong.
Where we belong? I
Where
don't
we
know about that.
are
Where we
from.
started.
Yeah, where
Western
we
North
started.
Carolina. And this trip, one of the big things for us is we're kind of just being able to explore all we want, do really anything we want as far as money will allow us to. But a big thing for us is all these cities are places that we would potentially want to live. So while we're out, we're kind of exploring cities that we would potentially want to live in. So if we find a place, like let's say we get out to Colorado, Oregon, whatever it is, and we find a city that we really love, we might end up staying there for a month or two, and we might fall in love with it and decide we want to move there or something, get an apartment, just have somewhere that's actually ours other than the RV that we currently have. But obviously we do want to complete this route at some point, but I'm just saying there are some times where we might stay at places longer than we are saying that we will now. When we get back, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the road trip. It just kind of means that it's the end of the route that we made. So we might get back and get to the Outer Banks and decide that we want to do it all over again. It doesn't really matter because we just kind of have the freedom to do whatever we want. We don't have a time limit on this. Really, it's all up to us. So as you guys obviously can tell, we are both very excited to go to a lot of these places, but a lot of people ask where we're most excited to go. So we are going to tell you guys the state we're most excited to go to and the experience we're most excited to do. So that might be like a certain mountain we want to go to, a certain hike we want to do, something like that.
I think the state that I'm most excited for would probably have to be California, just because I feel like there's such like a wide variety of things there, and you've got cities, you've got national parks, you've got everything. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. California is actually my second. I am most excited for Oregon, which luckily they're right next to each other. So, if we fall in love with this area, we'll just buy a house right on the border. But I'm really excited for Oregon, mainly for the Oregon coast. It just looks so pretty. There's so many mountains and things out here and just really pretty views.
The experience or specific thing I'm most excited for would probably have to be Mount Rainier. I've heard a lot about Mount Rainier, and I've been wanting to go there for so long. So I'm really, really excited for that.
It does look super pretty. I know we're probably going to stay here for months just hiking it and backpacking, doing it whatever we want. We'll just hike up and down it all day, every day. So I'm super excited for that too. So the experience that I'm the most excited for isn't necessarily just one place. I'm just excited to get out west and go snowboarding just because I've only really ever been snowboarding in the North Carolina mountains, and I have been to West Virginia once, but out west is just a whole different beast, and I'm just excited to do that, especially with Hannah. Let us know if you guys have any questions or suggestions or anything. We know that to some people this map probably makes no sense, especially how we're passing through places when we could just be going to one of these, or we could go to both of these since they're right next to each other instead of wrapping all the way around the entire United States. So if you guys have suggestions, please let us know. That's all for today.